This squid lives in shallow water. Then scientists found its deep-sea cousin, and it looked completely different. They call it the vampire squid, not because it sucks blood, but because of its dark, cloak-like arms and strange appearance in the deep ocean. Because the deep sea has almost no light and very little food, these animals had to adapt in unusual ways. That's why it looks so different from its shallow water relative. But it's not just about looking scary. Some deep-sea fish are just strange. Take the sarcastic fringehead. It's small at first, but when it opens its mouth to defend its territory, it suddenly becomes much larger than you'd expect. Clearly, something different is happening in the deep sea, and that's what we're going to explore.
Well, let me tell you a story. In 2018, a group of Australian researchers were searching for fishing spots in the Antarctic deep sea using underwater cameras. While scanning the ocean floor, one of the researchers noticed something unusual drifting in the water. It looked like a headless chicken. Finding a chicken in the middle of the Antarctic Ocean was already strange, but this one didn't even have a head. So the researcher quickly reported it to the team leader, Dirk Welsford. At first, Dirk didn't believe it, but when he looked at the footage himself, he was just as surprised. For one, the creature really did look like a floating Christmas turkey. And more importantly, its body had only one opening. It was using that single opening to breathe, eat food, and release waste. As they kept watching the footage, they noticed something even stranger. Inside that same opening, small fish were living and feeding on leftover food. It appeared that these fish were helping keep the opening clean. Seeing all of this made Dirk and his team extremely curious. In their entire careers, they had never seen anything like it. So they replayed the footage again and again, trying to understand what they were looking at. Then one of the researchers made a surprising suggestion. He said this might be a sea cucumber. The idea sounded strange at first. Sea cucumbers are simple, harmless creatures that are often found resting in shallow beach waters. But when they compared the structure and features, the evidence pointed in that direction. Still, there was one big question. If this was really a sea cucumber, how could it look so different from the ones found near shore?
While investigating this question, Dirk learned that this sea cucumber lives at depths comparable to Mount Everest within the ocean, where food is scarce. Because food is limited, it developed wing-like flaps that allow it to swim longer distances to find nutrients. So it survives in deeper water, but it also looks very different from shallow water sea cucumbers. After understanding this, Dirk wondered how many other deep-sea animals had evolved in similar or even more unusual ways. During further research, he came across another creature, a crab. This crab has legs that can reach lengths similar to the height of an adult human. At first, Dirk thought it was the largest crab ever discovered, but it turned out to be an average-sized member of its species. In deeper waters, some crabs of this type grow even larger. Because of their size, they can capture and consume relatively large prey. This is why people sometimes refer to them as crabzilla. Okay, understood that normal creatures start looking weird after going into deep sea, but how exactly does evolution happen, and how much time does it take? To find answers to these questions, an MIT researcher, Susan Lindquist, conducted a unique research. In her study, she took some Mexican tetrafishes. Why specifically these fishes? Because millions of years ago, some Mexican tetrafishes moved from shallow waters into deep underwater caves. And after going into deep water, they lost their eyes and started looking different from their shallow water cousins. Susan believed that if she could find the cause behind this adaptation, she could understand why deep-sea creatures look weird and scary. She suspected that a protein called HSP90, which causes mutations in genes, might be responsible. To verify this, she injected chemicals into shallow water fishes and intentionally manipulated their HSP90 protein. And do you know what happened next?
After a few days, she observed that in the next generation of fishes, some had extremely large eyes, while some completely lost their eyes, like their deep-sea cousins. She also noticed an 83% difference in eye size. From this, she confirmed that when Mexican tetra fishes moved into deep sea, variations occurred in their HSP90 proteins. Now, the next obvious question was, why? We cannot know the exact reason unless we travel back in time, but we can give possible explanations. For example, deep sea is extremely dark, so vision becomes less useful. Instead, detecting water movement becomes more important. According to natural selection, these fishes discarded eyes and developed movement-sensing abilities. Since eyes were not benefiting survival, mutations without eyes survived better, and gradually the eye trait disappeared. Overall, deep-sea survival requires changes in genetics, cellular structure, and body design. As these changes accumulate, creatures begin to look very different from their shallow water relatives. But this raises another question. As we learned about these creatures during this video, they may not seem as strange as they first appeared. So why do they look scary at first? Fear often comes from unfamiliar environments. When humans encounter something unknown, they naturally associate it with danger. Nearly 95% of the deep sea remains unexplored, and humans rarely see the creatures living there. Because of this unfamiliarity, these animals can appear alien or frightening. With repeated exposure, that fear usually decreases. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. It's just 2 quick clicks for you, but it really helps the channel grow. And if you're curious about the animals scientists are trying to bring back, check out my de-extinction